Okay, I think this is spinning out. Let's see if this is going to go live okay today. It's been a bit glitchy since I went to the page, so I'm just going to check a couple of settings while everyone jumps on the live. And I got a bit of a hook-worthy title. So let me just get this to spin around. Comment as content moderation. And then it follows BRC, discussion, restricted, protected. Okay. I think I'm set up today. Gold nuggets or gold dust. What's this crazy guy talking about? I thought we were talking about marketing today. We are. Patience, grasshoppers. Or miners, as I say. So where am I going with this today? So, when you guys to think about it, a lot of people come to me and they'll either go, oh, there's too much competition out there, or it's too crowded, the marketplace is too crowded. And then I see other niches where it's not. And you've got two options here. And I think Russell Brunson talks about it as like clear blue oceans where you've got the whole ocean to yourself, or is it a red ocean where it's just like a blood fest where everyone's just competitors are just taking out every other competitor, everything else. It's like really, really crowded. And how can you play this game? Well, let's break it down. So what am I talking about, gold nuggets or gold dust? So the story around this is when you think about it, like if you think, I don't know, it was the 1800s, people used to go out into the outback and they used to walk along and they'd stumble over a big ass gold nugget. And some of these were massive. And they'd just wander around and they'd just stumble over it. It's like, bang, there's another one. Bang, like these were like worth a lot of money. And now if you go out there these days, it's different. Like you go out there and there's hardly any gold nuggets, but there's gold dust in the ground. So if you watch some of these gold shows, you'll see that they actually they pretty much mine out massive areas for the hope of this gold dust. And the reason is that they can collect enough of it to make a profit from it. And they make a lot of money. So it was all the stuff that was left behind from the other guys that was there. So how does this tie into today's discussion? So gold nuggets or gold dust. So if you guys are tuning in, I want you guys to think about your industry and have a look and think about on Facebook, Google, or wherever it is. And do you see ads similar to what you'd currently do? And if you go, yes, I see heaps of them, there's a different strategy that's going to apply to you. Now, if you go on Google and you type in your business and you put the service in, Reese is on, I can see the comments today. So as I said, if you go on Google and you hardly see any ads, I'm talking about the ads. So we're talking about paid ads because that's normally the giveaway that there's a market share there. So if you go on there and you type in your service name and the town around you and you don't see any ads, guess what? You're in the gold nugget collecting thing. You can pretty much go out there like the old timers and you're pretty much going to pick up leads very, very easily. You're going to stumble them over them. You're going to find them everywhere. Now, if you go there and you pretty much punch it in, you see a lot of ads and you see it all on Facebook. Well, now you guys are in the gold dust. Like you're going to have to sit there and you're going to have to go back to the old timers. You're going to have to sit there and dig up a lot of ground to try and find these leads. So how does this tie into it? So if you go there and I said you do a Google search or you go on Facebook and you see no one running in your niche, my advice to you is get on the horse as quick as you can and start running ads and get used to this, because eventually people will come along and they'll get your leads. Like they'll mine it out and there'll be nothing left, and you'll have to be like the other guys where it's just gold dust. You're going to have to sit there and work a lot harder to get your leads. And maybe the strategy is different. So an example of like blue ocean would be you go into Google and you see no ads. You see one ad. Or another example would be you go and you see ads or you see Google ads and they're really badly written. And it means there's an example is pretty much, it means that there's people out there experimenting. They're starting to touch that untapped wilderness, but they don't know what they're doing. So there's still an option there to pretty much go hard. Now, as I said, if you see it and you see really professional ads, you see a lot of them, then I said, you're going to have to start going gold dust hunting. What does that mean? You have to look at different strategies. And it's not to jump from one platform to another. It's to work out where you're going to have to go. So today an example would be, say a client comes to me and they're in the service-based industry, which most of you guys would be. Depending on what their product is, I'm going to direct them either to pretty much Facebook or Google. I'm going to look at the two and I'm going to go, cool, Google, there's no one there. Bring it. Let's ramp up our activities there. I'm going to go Facebook. I can see this with Facebook ads there. They're really terrible written. There we go. There's our niche here. That's how we're going to go. We're going to dominate the market. So we're going to sit there and get the gold nuggets while the other guys are sitting fighting over the gold dust. Now, if you're in a really crowded market, which a lot of you guys may be, and you may go, it's too late for me, Mark. Like seriously, online marketing, I missed the boat. Here's the thing. People still put stuff in the papers. People still even pay for yellow pages, for God's sake. Like these things are pretty much dead. People put serious money in there. So a strategy might be, you may go, well, look, Facebook doesn't work for me. I've tried posting on the Facebook feed and it's not really working. I'm going to give you some examples today of like me getting leads from different sources, like tapping different gold areas. So I'm like prospecting. I'm like, okay, let me go and look over in this land, because I'm going to sit there, and it's just like you think. You're not going to sit there and hit the mother lode straight away. You may have this batch of land, and you got to sit there and you got this massive bit of land, and think about this like your ads, and you don't know where the gold is. Like, bit of blur today, but maybe like the gold's in this corner here, but you're starting up here, and you're gonna have to start there. And maybe your first thing is you start running some Facebook ads, and you're like, well, it's not sort of working too much, so you do some Facebook stuff first, and then maybe you go across to Instagram and you dabble a little bit in there. Maybe you bounce over and you start doing some Google My Business, maybe some Google ads or whatever, and you start bouncing around. It takes you a while to get on the money. And here's the thing, a lot of people will give up because they're like, man, I've been wandering around, man. I was hoping I could just trip over these leads and they'd magically find me, because that's the way everyone else tells me. Like, I could put a post, I get heaps of work, things are brilliant. Mark, I put a post up, and no one bit from me. So I'm going to give you some examples of stuff today that I've done. Like today I've got some leads for different businesses, for myself, that didn't make any sense. And this is where, like me, I'm in a crowded niche. Like you guys would know, if you're doing marketing, you treat it like, like you mentioned it. You mentioned the word marketing, man. Your Facebook feed is going to be full of crazy people like me, preaching the word of Facebook. The gospel of Facebook and the gospel of Google, and it's going to be very hit and miss with snake oil salespeople. So an example would be, people tell me things don't work. So I'm sitting there prospecting for gold. I'm like going, cool. I'm going to sit there with Google. I'm going to sit there with Facebook. I'm going to try Bing. I'm going to try these strategies. But sometimes you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper. So I'm going to tell you a strategy that I've done, and I've actually got a lead today from it, which may not make sense to you guys. So Spray Media, if you go have a look at my Instagram page, it's going to be an example of a ghost town. Spray Media has probably not had a post on that page for probably, I don't know, at least a couple of months, maybe 6 months, 12 months. Now, this is going to seem batshit crazy to a lot of you guys, because you're going to go, this doesn't make any sense, Mark. So I have an Instagram page. Now, I could go out there and I'm going to put Instagram, because now everyone's going to tune in, because they're like, what's he talking about, man? It's Instagram. He's going to give some hot tips here. So I could sit there and do what everyone else does. And what they do is they sit there and they post stuff around social media. Maybe I'm going to put some posts up, and I'm going to post something about, I don't know, you should use these hashtags, whatever it is, like every other social media company does. So this is an example of the gold rush here. So everyone else that puts there, like no one's interested. They see a social media company or Facebook advertiser, they've got no interest in them. So I haven't done a post. As I said, I haven't done a post for what? Have a look. I don't know, probably 6 months, possibly. But it's got old stuff on there. So Spray Media has had nothing on there for a while. So what's Mark done? He sat there and done the strategy of not posting, but looking around and going, how can you get some of this gold dust out there? So what have I done? I've started connecting to accounts. Not being the usual idiot going out there and spamming people. Mark has been going through and being a good citizen. I've been going, you know what? I know a lot of you guys struggle on Instagram. So little Spray Media's going to come along. And what Spray Media do? He's going to give a good little comment. So your little picture, if you're a business owner, you're in my demo, because I can find you on Instagram. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to find the business owner. So on Instagram, Mark's going out, and here's a picture of an accountant. Or maybe they've got some pictures of their staff. They're sitting there and maybe they've got a cake because they've celebrated someone's birthday in the office. So this accountant here, he's put this post up and thinks he's going to get so much business from it. And he waits, and it's crickets. There's nothing. Who comes along? Little Spray Media, man. Spray Media comes along and he's like, I'll help this guy out. A little bit of a love there. And he comments and he goes, great to see you got that cake. Where'd you get that cake from? Was it a local business? Great to see you guys celebrating. Notice you guys are local. Great to see you in the Mandurah area. So he comments on here. Now he does that a few times. He goes around, he finds other little local businesses around there, and he finds some more. And what happens is Mark is starting to build some goodwill, because Mark's going out there and he's showing interest, and he's not being like the other bots. Because you know what? You know where this goes wrong for a lot of people? They go there and immediately go, this is too hard, Mark. I have not got time to sit there and look at pictures. I have not got time to people comment. So I'm going to put a what? A bot. They put a bot. They go, well, I'm going to be a tight ass, and I'm going to get one of these guys to do my work for me. Now everyone's tuned out at this stage because that Mark's like on Crazy Town. So they get this bot, and this bot goes around and he likes them, and he comments the same thing, like thumbs up, great photo, hey, damn. It's just like, it's crap. Like, people know a bot. People can sense a bot. Now, has Mark messaged or DM'd these? No, there's been no DMs. There's been no direct messages on here. Just Mark showing some goodwill. And if you followed me, this is the Gary V strategy, just tweaked a little bit on my sort of thing. So we've been going through there and showing people some love. And you know what happens? One of these people eventually goes, shit, I need some marketing. Who should I reach out to? Well, I can go on Google and I can go on Facebook, but I don't really trust any of these people. But I've seen this little spray media company going around and commenting on my posts and showing me some love. I'm going to reach out to him first because I already know a little bit about him. So Mark gets a lead. That's an example of a lead that came through that doesn't make any sense. No posts. So I had no posts, which is a bit crazy, isn't it? Like, seriously, everyone else is doing posts, aren't they? Mark did no posts. And he's got an account that seems old. So when you use that excuse and you go, well, Mark, I need to get these posts and then get these in place. No posts. Like they're old. That's the reality. Another example. Now that we're 10 minutes in, this is going to go over my LinkedIn time limit. So we're just going to rock this through. Another strategy. Google Ads is too busy. Google Ads, there's way too much traffic. I can't compete. All my competitors on there and it's like $50 a click. So where does Mark go on this strategy here? Mark goes to another platform, very similar to Google, called Bing. Now you would have heard me talk about this before. Now if you've joined me at this stage here, good you're watching because now I'm going to let you into a bit of a secret. So I didn't want to tell this too early in because the guys that weren't serious, they've already bailed out. So if you're on this thing here, now I'm going to tell you a little bit of a secret. Bing is about a quarter the price of Google Ads. Bing actually know they suck. So why do they suck? It's by Microsoft. They've built a search engine. It's pretty much a copy of Google, but it's only got a very small market share. I don't know what the numbers are, but it's pretty low, right? So why would people use Bing? Bing is a search engine. I can run ads on there. Not many people take it seriously. So here's the reality of the thing. And here's my little hot tip. Now you're following me about gold dust and gold nuggets. I'm going to see how many people watch this because this is some seriously good tips now. Bing, you buy a new computer. Your computer breaks. You need to go buy a new PC. So what do? You go buy, I'm a Mac user, so this is different because I don't have this problem. But you go buy a new PC. New. Has to be new. Your search engine is Bing. You may not know this. A lot of clients haven't realized this. They tell me that they're using Google, and then I jump on a meeting with them, and I realize they're actually using Bing. They just don't know it. So my reality is the Bing is the search engine. Bing. Silly name, it's also called Microsoft Ads. So they do all their searches, and they tell me they're using Google, when in reality, they're using this. Now, what does this tell you about this person that's this user? This is like gold nugget territory because you can still pick some good leads off here. I'm glad this is going longer because this is going to see who actually follows my stuff because this is some stuff that a lot of marketers don't even know. Why? Why do they use Bing and why do they stay using it? A lot of you guys may go, well, Mark, I get rid of Bing as fast as I can and I put Chrome in. That is cool. But I'm going to tell you a couple of theories around why people continue to use Bing. They value their time. They value their time. And what do I mean by that? They don't have time to figure out technology. Their computer, as far as they're working, is doing exactly what they said. It's giving them the search results. It's doing whatever they want. They have not got time to sit there and load another browser. They have not got time to go in the settings or figure it out. This demo is normally a little bit older, probably my age or a little bit older, probably 60 plus. So if you're in that demo where you've got an older demographic, these guys are going to probably be using Bing and they're going to be telling you using Google. Now, other reasons why would Bing be a value source? Pretty much, you're indicating that these people here, they value their time, which means they will actually spend money to get their time back. They will spend more. That's a fact, and I've seen that happen before. You may get less leads from this, but the leads will be worth a lot more. There'll be a higher intent. Another thing you guys may not realize is some education departments, some government departments will lock their computers down and they'll secure it with Bing as the default search engine. So if you're dealing with commercial or government, your gateway drug has to be this. They're not going to be able to bypass it because they can't load software without their IT department, and their IT department are narky. They don't like any crazy shit on their computer. Whoops, I've said the S word on here. Sorry, guys. Government. And that's why it works so effective. So takeaway of this one here is there is so much ways of finding gold nuggets. There is so much ways of doing volume to find your gold dust and to shake it out. So don't ever give up and don't say, marketing, I can't do it, it's too late or whatever, because you've got to think about it. At the end of the day, there is still people to run ads in Yellow Pages. And if they're running ads in Yellow Pages, why are they running ads? Because there is a reason. It must work. They wouldn't keep spending. Either that, or like me, you look at it as opportunity. For me, if I go, again, thinking about it, I'm going to use the Yellow Pages if you guys are tuning in. If I open the Yellow Pages and I dig through that, what does that tell me about all the businesses that are in the Yellow Pages? It tells me they've got money. It tells me they've got money. And they possibly have money to burn. They have surplus. They're not worried. So they're not restricted by their budget, because they would have cut this out a long time ago, possibly. Same with the paper. Newspaper. Same deal. If people are invested in the newspaper, they must be getting results. Everyone has left it. Most people have left the newspaper or given up on it. Why are they still in the newspaper? So you're flipping it around. I'm not using the newspaper to get clients. I'm looking at the newspaper to get clients. Because again, I know that whoever's advertising that newspaper, especially them suckers that are taking out full pages, full page ads, have got what? They're doing well in business because they've got money to burn. So there's different strategies. There's multiple strategies here, guys. So as I said, if you say like, I can't find leads, I can't find these, there is always a way. And sometimes you're going to have to do a bit of digging in the dirt. Digging in the dirt, finding that gold dust. I don't know why I'm going to wipe that off. And you're pretty much going to have to shake it around to get this stuff out of there. Like leads are everywhere. And sometimes it requires a different strategy. So as I said, when people go like Facebook or Google Ads don't work, you need to dig down that layer. That means you're going to have to start going down that layer. And if it's like, same deal, like your mate tells you he's getting massive leads and Google Ads and Facebook ads are working really great for him, and you go to run them and you find that you're sitting there not getting the same results, it means you're in gold dust territory. It means you're going to have to dig through the layers a little bit. You're going to have to get onto that gold. Well, your mate, he's in a place where he's found this location. He's in a great area where he can stumble over and find leads very, very easily. So as I said, everything will work. It works in a different way. And on that note, I'm going to wrap this up because this is probably the longest live I've done so far on my Mark Spray page. Let me know if you get value from these, because as I said, like I'm digging a little bit deeper and I'm giving away a lot of secrets. If you guys have joined in, I'm not even going to put this in the comments. I'm going to see who watches this, because I've just given away some serious stuff today. A lot of marketers don't even know that. So as I said, I'm giving it away because why not? Why not? Why not be different? Let's see who watches me, eh? And on that note, I'm going to tune out for the day. Ashley's at the door. You guys that are joining me on this Facebook page have not followed my journey. I've been doing this for 6 months on my personal page. So if you want to see a bit more of a background to this whole thing and why I'm doing, why the days are there, I've already done literally over 6 months of this going live on my personal page every day, every single day. So now I'm doing it on this page here to compare the results, because obviously organic is changing a little bit. So I'm bringing it across to the page. We're gonna work some magic here, guys. So make sure, if you want to tune in, I think there's notifications you can turn on to make sure you get these lives, because when I did it on my personal page, I was starting to get questions answered in these lives. Not answer on the lives, I'd bring you in, I'd promote you on there. If you have a friend in business that's a service provider that works pretty well, anyone doing any advertising, you may want to get them to follow this page, because I'm going to deliver quite a lot of value. I'm doing this every day. So if you're like stuck in business, I'm here every day for you guys. And on that note, I'm going to wrap this up and get out of here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.